my colleague Abe Kwatri. Oh, Charlie.
Who invaded our sets
and
wanted to give his sports time to drinking more smoothies.
That's practical. You spoke about the fact that was practical. I love practical stuff.
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's great to have you, Abe.
Yeah, good to be here.
You only come when there's food.
Yeah.
But when there's exercise, you're missing in action.
My shadow, you know, like, yeah.
We'll put the next aerobics on your schedule.
Well, now that I've drunk stuff, Charlie, I'm good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Amazing.
There's some other, back end too, so we'll finish that then, yeah.
I think yesterday we started talking about Save Ghana football.
Yeah.
And we didn't end. Let's pick your thoughts on that before we go into the...
Yeah, 1 year down the line, nothing has happened. I knew nothing was going to happen. I said it. Sometimes with our football, when you say things as it is, you tend to get into trouble. Because football is with the football people. Even if governments come into the fray, and decides what, puts information on paper and say, this is what you should go by, the clubs will get to Congress again when the whole thing returns to them, the documents returns to them, they'll go for Congress, and they'll go and look through that document and say, we don't want this, we want that. This is what will help us, because we make up the FA.
Yeah.
What were the 15-pointer trying to address? Issues of transparency in Ghana football. When FIFA does its audits with the Ghana Football Association, when the Confederations of Africa does it, when the Ghana Football Association have internal, auditors come audit their staff, they say they are clean. So who then do you blame? We can only check the amount that goes into our football in relation to our Black Stars. And I love that look you have on your face. Look, in relation to our Black Stars.
Yeah.
That's when maybe you can bring somebody from the ministry to follow the team in doing checks for the hotels the team will be staying in, checking transportation within the space, i.e. when we send funds, those little amounts per DM that will be given, and all of that, bonuses for the players, and that's when we can bring the government in to try and skew it down a bit. But when you talk about the general football, as in what they are looking for, even with our Ghana Premier, looking at the Division 1 League, looking at Division 2, Division 3, it's with the football people and how they want to run it. So nothing is going to change. So 1 year down the line, I am not surprised that we are where we are. And it may be even worse. Maybe.
But do you have hope in this new administration to shape things and, put us back on the right path?
It's a big question. It's a big question. The administration have up until 2027 to get things done. It's difficult as it stands to say that they can do anything that Ghanaians will love, because already we failed, in our AFCON journey. Shockingly, the last was the worst. We didn't get it at all. Now we have the World Cup qualifiers before us. There's Madagascar on top. We have 9 points. There's Chad on top as well. And I say on top, like we have them to play.
Yeah.
So we've got 9 points, smooth sailing in the World Cup qualifiers. But will we be able to do it? It lies with this administration as well, because we are described outside the shores of the country as a bigger football nation. But even the basics of our football, we are not getting it right. I was in the office of the marketing director of the Ghana Football Association last week, and he says it's difficult to promote our Ghana Premier League. And he cites a perfect example. He tells me, imagine I go to a company, I speak to them, and they are willing to inject $1 million into our league. I put their names on a pitch panel, and I go put it at, say, Doma, and there's an incident in the game and the fans are not pleased with it. They will just barge into it, and the game is on screen. They do not care. They'll be kicking and destroying the pitch panels. And any company's image that is turned upside down to face the ground, the company feels like, no, it's a dent on my image I've built over a span. So it's difficult to market our local league. So it's very, very difficult to say with the time left, the FA this administration can really put a trick up and bring our football to, but football is crazy. We can get into Canada, Mexico, United States of America, and do magic. That would depend on the players because they are the architects on the field of play. When the players decide we want to make a mark, to erase whatever thought is on the minds of Ghanaians, and they perform well, we might think that this is the best administration again. It's dicey, the situation we are in now. But, I mean, it's a long journey, or if you want, it's a tall ladder.
Amazing. Let's delve into the EPL. It was a busy week yesterday. Arsenal snapped the win. City, oh mamouche. Oh, Charlie. The Pharaoh.
They've gotten the Egyptian king.
The Pharaoh delivered, right?
Yeah.
And I'm referring to their new player, the Mamouche.
Yeah, Mamouche.
You know, who
For
scored a
City.
hat-trick.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just run us through the games and which one caught your attention and which one can you speak
Arsenal first. Are they in title contention? It always comes up. Just as 4 points. 4 points. 4 points. Look, the
with
league
Liverpool
is
having
the
a
league.
game in hand, right? So
No,
against
they
Wolves,
play,
but that's a given.
They play today.
That's there to play. But my point is that the Premier League is crazy. You never envisage Bournemouth, for example, being in the top half, say top 8. No. You know, and the likes of Spurs and United are just down there. The likes of even Newcastle United, you know, to some extent before this weekend's game. But my point is that I feel Arsenal are in the picture. We were complaining, the manager was complaining at the presser that, you know, strikers problems and what have you. People said when the transfer opened. I was one of those who said that I feel they did bad business. I feel they should have just gone in for Isak, whatever it
Because
took.
if you have 50 million to spend on Carlo Fiori, you know, who, to be fair, in that position he plays, there's not really
That's really
special
Timber,
need because there's Timber, you know,
Gabriel,
and all of that. You could have used that money to get a striker, right?
Yeah.
So interesting. But Merino, has he finally delivered for the Gunners?
Oh, this is just one of those performances. just like Mamouche. Look, the Premier League is not only an expensive league; it's a difficult league, and it will take time. Let's give him time. Look, the position he plays, there is one guy who is loved so much by the manager, who's stamped his authority. I feel the guy we should be talking about this morning, all respect to Merino, but the guy we should be talking about this morning is Nwaneri.
What a player!
And
for a
that's
17-year-old,
banana sort of.
you know.
Look, he did. What's the name of the guy? A Saka move.
Yeah.
For that goal.
He doesn't even make it feel like Saka. You know, he doesn't make them miss Saka.
That's it.
And Saka is about the best player in the Premier
that's
League.
the guy.
So to step in for Saka effortlessly like that means that
He's doing something.
amazing.
And not Raheem Sterling, who was at the other side of the flank, where, you know...
Sterling has a confidence problem. I think he'll bounce back.
You know, for Merino to come in and just do that. I mean, Sterling started the game. I felt he should have done that. So that's a special. Now for Mamouche, look,
so this is a City game you are going
this
to
is the City game I'm going to now. For Mamouche, I feel Egyptians are special breeds of footballers. We saw...
Who's your favorite all time?
For Egypt?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be difficult, but I love that goalkeeper.
El
Hadji. Crazy.
So you think Egypt is doing something right?
Egypt has proper football.
Please, they are not, you know, they are Africa football royalty, but in the last,
There's
in the last 2 years, in the last 2 years,
I'm calming
they've
down
not
with
been
Okay.
giddy like that. So let's
No,
not.
but individually, their players have been phenomenal.
But collectively, as a team,
Fair enough.
Right.
Fair.
Right.
Team gets up to that peak, and there's a
They
bit of a
start to have
decline,
issues,
and
yeah.
you know they bounce back again. Look, for Mamouche
Oh,
at the
then there's hope
stage,
for Ghana.
scoring hat-trick, say
no, except that Ghana, no. Except that Ghana, no, the decline, no, it was too
it was so
steep.
deep. Yeah,
You know, and we are taking forever to come back. So yeah,
And it's not as if we are even putting in mechanisms to
Yeah.
ensure that we'll get up.
You know,
But these guys
Yeah.
have it. Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, the North African countries.
Right.
Look, they love their football. They love their sport. I was in Egypt for go ball. And the Hadramani complex that they play the go ball in takes over 5,000.
Wow.
And they organize international basketball competitions in that arena. And it was a go ball competition. And I see the people cheering the Egypt national go ball team up, the men and the women team. It will amaze you. So these guys have gotten to understand the sport they do. Algeria, Morocco, Egypt. So if you see players in that caliber excelling, it tells you something that they are getting up. They have the right system for their players to grow to get to that. He's 17, look at what he's doing. He's scoring from all angles.
Mamouche,
Mamouche.
17.
Yeah, he's young, isn't he? Forgotten is time to be corrected.
I'm not sure 17, but he's quite young. And we'll check the
No,
the
he's
age
young. He's young. And kindly
17.
He's young.
So that means that at the
He's young.
AFCON he was like 16.
No. I stand to be corrected. But look, I mean he's young. I want to. The point
is that he's
the point
very
I want to. He's young. So there's a lot of age ahead of him. You look at Mo Salah. He picked at a very good age, and he's grown into it, isn't it? He's grown into it to get to the level where he's the king, and there's a new king on the block for Manchester City. And look, for Egyptians, they love to score from all angles. He's heading the ball to score.
To walk into the team that had Grealish, Doku, even Sabino,
and to step up, and a team that is struggling to step up.
So that was good play to get a hat trick against Newcastle.
Yeah. And youngsters to step up for Manchester City.
Inform Newcastle like that.
Skelly also scored.
That
isn't it?
Skelly didn't score this week. He scored the last.
No. There's a young chap in the City setup. I want to recall. He scored a fourth goal.
Not Skelly, Lewis.
Not Skelly, Lewis. Okay, well, there's another.
It sets up an interesting title race, right?
Yeah.
But
26.
26 is quite old.
26.
Omar Marmoush.
26 is a number.
Yeah,
but it's good. It's good to pick up in 26.
Relatively,
because you can play 27,
28,
28, 29. So yeah. Thanks for that correction. So not all players pick at 26 though.
Yeah.
Some are getting into 28 and then 29.
Liverpool take on Wolves today. If they lose that game, it brings down their lead to 4 points.
This is where it gets scary. No, this is where it gets scary because look, it's difficult to play these little or smaller, in quotes, with all due respect, smaller teams, especially when they see they have the opportunity to upset or bring an upset to the table. Liverpool have gotten good squad. They missed out on the FA Cup. They are aware. The priority for the manager is the league.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. And the Champions League. That would be crazy as well. He's looking at all of that in the picture. He's gotten to get the best out of footballers and how he managed the situation. For example, Salah spoke to the media, mentioned his contract. The manager calmed it down.
Yeah, he has a way of diffusing the tension. I agree with you on that.
And he brought Gravenberch into the picture, a guy who was not even getting playing time. And he makes him his man.
Best, beyond making him like a mainstay in the Liverpool team, I think Gravenberch for Liverpool is the best defensive midfielder
in his position.
Or the best midfielder because
those kind of league. Absolutely, those kind of players, they are hard to come by.
And so you can't dispossess him of the ball. And he's been so central to Liverpool's success this season.
His passing, like he mans up on the ball. Yeah, and you're unable to pick the ball from him like he indicated. And then he has the eye for short passes.
A proper pass.
And he
can hit it from far if he has to.
How's that game looking for both sides?
I feel Liverpool is going to win, but it's not going to be easy. Liverpool
I see a Wolves win, but yeah.
Why won't you see a Wolves win?
Why
won't you see a Wolves win?
Come on, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Never.
You got
Chelsea.
No, but
Chelsea. I'm surprised he's not talking about that Brighton-Chelsea game on Friday.
No,
we spoke about it
yesterday. So
and the thing is, honestly, the thing is, they already said they're not in contention for anything. So be careful.
That is one of the wackest statements I've heard any manager talk about. It is wack. Like, look.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Why would you say these things?
We'll leave it here.
I like how anytime we're talking about Chelsea, we get to end the show early because Drew doesn't want to have it.
Time is fast spent. The Liverpool game will be live on radio, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
What time should we join you guys?
So we are 30 minutes into the show. So when you check on the clock, the time the game starts, 30 minutes into the game, we are live on radio.
Join you on 97.3 City FM for sweet analysis from the
for the greatest league on planet Earth.
Oh my word. That's our show for you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're sorry we couldn't give you some of the smoothies, but
you can make it yourself, really.
Yeah, you can make it yourself. Try your hands at it. It's actually very, very delicious. I mean, if Jude, who has a sweet tooth, was able to drink it, then so can you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're always here every weekend for you, bright and early, 7 a.m. Don't miss out. We love you. Mwah.
Bye.